In this video, I'm going to walk you through what campaign objective is the best to run inside of your Facebook ads and how to actually use and leverage campaign objectives together to achieve the best results you possibly can. Now, the first thing you see when you're starting to make a new Facebook campaign is after you click the green create button, you're approached with this screen. Choose your campaign objective. It's a very simple thing to miss, and it's a very simple thing to mess up if you don't know what you're doing, but it can also be fairly obvious. If you want leads, you click leads. If you want sales, sales. If you want engagement, engagement. And then there's traffic and awareness, which can seem kind of the same, but what I want to do is kind of share with you, first off, why picking the right one actually matters. Then I want to give you the top 3 objectives that I like to use, and then I'll show you how to stack the correct objectives together to give you the best results you possibly can. So first things first, let's talk about why it's important choosing the correct one here. You want to think of what your end result is with the first objective that you choose. Is what is that end result that you want? If you want sales at the end of the day, do not mess around with anything else besides the sales objective. If you want leads, don't mess around with anything else in here besides the leads objective. Now, a lot of this does have to tie in with the Facebook pixel and what you're actually optimizing for, but the objective is the root of that. And if you're telling Facebook what you want, that's what it's going to give you. But if you're sending people from an amazing ad to an amazing landing page, hoping that they get sales from a traffic campaign, you're going to get no sales. You're just going to get traffic. You're going to get tons of people there, very, very cheap, but you're not really going to be getting any sales. And this is why it's so important to choose the right objective and not just to choose the one that is going to potentially get you the cheapest clicks, depending on what your objective is. So that's the first piece there, is to make sure you choose the objective aligned with what your end result is. So after that point, let's talk about my top 3. My top 3 here are really leads, engagement, and sales. I'll start with leads, and leads is a very simple one. It's just if you want emails, name, email, phone number, some information from people, and you can choose where that location is going to actually happen. So it could be on a website, it could be on an instant form, it could be on Messenger, etc. Now, this is obviously a very straightforward objective, but what's super interesting about it is even though your campaign objective could be leads, you could actually achieve a very similar kind of result. Instead of getting a lead on a form, you could get a lead in a DM and use engagement instead. And this goes right into the second objective that I'm a really big fan of, which is engagement. This is actually a great stacking objective, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, because you can use engagement to achieve a few different performance goals. And that's something important to note as well. For each objective, that is the starting point, because you're going to have to choose specifically what you want from that objective. So in this case, I want something to happen either on my ad, on my website, etc. Let's say on my ad, then you can choose, hey, do I want them to just watch the video? Do I want them to engage with the post? Do I want to maximize 2-second video plays or through plays? This is why it's important to pick the right thing. So then here, you can also choose the correct performance goal. And last but not least, sales. So those are really my top 3 objectives. In most cases, 90% of the time, if I were running your ads or if I'm running anyone else's ads, we're either going to be using engagement, leads, or sales. But then we will supplement one primary objective with maybe 1 or 2 other secondary objectives, and let's get into that now. So I'm going to use the example of sales because I think most people, you're either having an e-commerce store or maybe you're a coach or consultant and you're selling a low ticket offer. You may also be booking calls or getting leads, but I'm just going to use sales in this example, and we can do the same thing for really no matter what business you're in. But if sales is my primary category and I'm optimizing for a purchase at the end of the day, that's the big thing that I'm optimizing for. How can I support that with other objectives? A very easy way to support this is to take the ads that you're running in sales, click an engagement campaign, and whether they're a video or whether they're a picture, you'll either choose post engagement if it's an image, or you'll click video views if it's a video. And what makes this so powerful is you can take the same ad that you're running in the purchase campaign, take it, plug it into a video views or a post engagement campaign with that objective, and just rack up engagement, views, etc. on that same ad. Why that's so beneficial is when someone sees the ad in the purchase objective, the sales objective with the purchase goal, they'll see all that social proof from that other campaign that's driving a lot of those results, and it's super cheap. You don't really have to spend much money to just get a decent amount of social proof or engagement on your ad. So that's one very easy way to supplement everything that you're doing. The next piece that you could supplement with is kind of have a 2-step process. So step 1 is maybe they become a lead, and then you can retarget all of those leads with a sales objective, and at the same time, you can get engagement from those people as well. The flip side of it is you could get engagement on a specific post, retarget all those engagements because they're very, very cheap, and you could send them to a lead campaign and generate leads, booked calls, etc. This is a super easy way to stack objectives together, and instead of just relying on one, it's really not that expensive to just take some of the spend that you would have spent here on a sales objective, drop it into an engagement or a lead campaign, and really supplement everything you're doing. So the last thing I want to cover is when and why would you use a awareness or a traffic campaign. I think of an awareness and traffic campaign as really just a goal to get as many eyeballs as you possibly can. It's a cheap way to get your ad in front of as many people on as many screens as you possibly can. And it really is a good kind of foundational element, because what you could do is you could start with an awareness campaign, get a ton of reach, a ton of impressions, and then retarget those people with a sales objective. The issue is when you're doing an awareness or a traffic campaign, that is what Facebook is optimizing for. So like if we go to traffic and we went to maximize link clicks, that's all it's going to get. It's going to find people that are just going to view a website, or just people that are most likely to click on the ad. It doesn't mean they have the intent to purchase or to become a lead, but maybe they have some interest. And that's a very low barrier to entry for people to click on something. Click on things all the time. So it's important to understand that, hey, if you're going to launch a campaign and you're using awareness or you're using link clicks, know that that's all you're really going to get. You're going to get clicks, you're going to get eyeballs, you're going to get engagement maybe, but you're not necessarily going to get conversion. So make sure you supplement a conversion campaign with an awareness, traffic, or engagement campaign, and that's a best use in my experience with these campaign objectives. So I hope that makes sense in figuring out which objective is best for you to use. If you have more questions on your paid ads, or if you want me to review your paid ads personally, join the Predictable Profits Mastermind. There's a link below to join. I'll see you there, and I'll see you in the next video.